This is News Hour on Ifako Radio. Good morning, I'm Olanireti, Ololade. The major headlines. Doctors to decide on nationwide strike today. DSS broker truce ends Nupeng's strike threat. PDP, SANS, protest as Senate blocks Natasha's return. Keep Ifako flood-free, Prince Amzat urges residents. Ifako Education Secretary leaves legacy of excellence. Sports. South Africa dents Eagles World Cup hopes after stalemate. Osimhen begins ankle sprain treatment. News in detail. Doctors to decide on nationwide strike today. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors will today, Wednesday, hold its National Executive Council meeting to determine its next line of action on a pending ultimatum to the federal government. The association had earlier issued a 10-day ultimatum to relevant government agencies, warning that members would embark on a nationwide strike if their demands were not met. The threat comes amid mounting pressure on Nigeria's fragile public health system, which is already grappling with a shortage of doctors, poor infrastructure, and overcrowded hospitals. Resident doctors, who constitute the majority of the medical workforce in teaching and specialist hospitals, have repeatedly gone on strike in recent years over unpaid wages, poor welfare, and inadequate working conditions. Experts warn that another shutdown could cripple healthcare delivery, forcing patients to seek expensive private care and worsening health outcomes nationwide. In a communique issued on September 4, 2025, and signed by NARD President Dr. Tokpe Oshindara, General Secretary Dr. Oluwashola Odumbaku, and Publicity and Social Secretary Dr. Umar Amobi, the doctors demanded immediate payment of the outstanding 2025 Medical Residency Training Fund settlement of 5 months arrears from the 25% to 35% consolidated medical salary structure review and other long-standing salary backlogs. DSS broker truce ends Nupeng's strike threat. The strike threat by unions, which would have thrown the oil sector into turmoil, fizzled out yesterday following a truce brokered by the Directorate of State Service (DSS), protesting Dangote Refineries and Petrochemical Limited's preclusion of its new drivers from becoming part of the labor union. National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers (NUPENG) issued a threat of industrial action from Monday. Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria (PETRAN) jumped into the fray because Dangote Refinery had become monopolistic, with its plan to supply petrol directly to filling stations. But yesterday, a meeting convened by DSS, attended by government officials and labor leaders, culminated in determination of the strike threat to the relief of apprehensive Nigerians who feared another round of petrol shortage. With the pact, workers of the refinery are free to be members of existing oil sector unions in the country. FIRS taps EFCC to enforce tax compliance. The Federal Inland Revenue Service has said the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is key in its drive to enforce voluntary tax compliance. According to a statement from the service on Tuesday, the FIRS Executive Chairman, Dr. Zak Adedeji, said this during a courtesy visit to the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. The newly signed Tax Act will go into effect in January 2026. The new laws transform FIRS into the Nigerian Revenue Service. During the visit, the two agencies renewed their commitment to collaborate more in order to strengthen Nigeria's tax compliance framework and safeguard public revenue. Adedeji also emphasized the importance of interagency cooperation in sustaining financial stability and building trust in Nigeria's revenue system. We cannot pursue 200 million Nigerians individually to do the right thing, but want to put a system in place that will aid compliance, said Adedeji. You can help us by letting people know that when they violate the law, there is a place you can keep them. On behalf of the President and Nigerians, we thank you for your support and seek even deeper cooperation, he added. PDP, SANS protest as Senate blocks Natasha's return. The controversy surrounding Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension took a fresh twist on Tuesday as the People's Democratic Party and several senior advocates of Nigeria condemned the Senate decision to bar Akpoti Uduaghan from resuming when the upper chamber reconvenes on September 23rd. In a letter dated September 4, the acting clerk of the National Assembly, Dr. Yahaya Danzaria, formally notified Akpoti Uduaghan that a 6-month suspension imposed on March 6 remains in force until the Court of Appeal delivers judgment in her suit against the Senate. The matter remains sub judice, and until the judicial process is concluded, no administrative action will be taken to facilitate your resumption. You will be duly notified of the Senate decision on the matter as soon as it is resolved, the letter stated. The company dashed hopes of the Kogi Central lawmaker, who, according to our lawyer Victor Giwa, had already begun preparations to rejoin her colleagues after serving out the 6-month penalty. Akpoti Uduaghan was suspended on March 6 after the Senate adopted the report of its Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, which accused her of insubordination for refusing to vacate her assigned seats during plenary. The decision stripped her of salaries, aids, and official privileges. The senator has consistently maintained that her suspension was politically motivated, linking it to a petition she filed accusing Senate President Godswill Akpabio of sexual harassment, an allegation the Senate dismissed. She challenged their action in court, announcing in April that she had secured judgment in her favor. However, Senate leadership insisted she will remain suspended for the full 6 months. Keep Ifako flood-free, Prince Hamzat urges residents. The executive chairman of the Ifako local government, President Usman Akobe Hamzat, has urged residents to desist from indiscriminately dumping refuse into gutters, canals, and other water channels as the rainy season intensifies. In a statement released by his media aide, Prince Hamzat expressed concern that flooding in parts of the country is largely due to blocked drainage systems caused by improper waste disposal. He emphasized that safeguarding the environment is not just a government duty, but a collective responsibility of all citizens. As the rain sets in, we must all play our parts. Do not litter the gutter or water channels. The He in our Heat Plus agenda stands for environment, and that is why we are committed to ensuring a cleaner, safer, and flood-free Ifako. I assure you that my administration will continue to do everything within its power to maintain proper drainage, strengthen waste management, and protect lives and property, the chairman said. He further called on community leaders, youth groups, and market associations to sensitize their members on the dangers of indiscriminate waste disposal and the importance of environmental discipline. Prince Hamzat reaffirmed that under the EAT Plus agenda, environmental sustainability will remain a top priority in building a healthier and more resilient Ifako. Ifako Education Secretary leaves legacy of excellence. Honorable Olamide Adeyemi Jongbo, Education Secretary of Ifako local government, has expressed satisfaction with the strides he has made in office, stating that he has raised the standard of the Education Secretary office. According to him, he will leave the office in a better state than when he met it. On notable achievements, Honorable Jongbo noted, is the upgrade of the Education Secretary's office to level 17, which will be implemented with the incoming years. This development, he said, was not in the place during his tenure, but after persistent efforts, the state government eventually approved the upgrade. The upgraded status means the incoming Education Secretary will be the most senior person in the system. Honorable Jongbo expressed pride in achieving this milestone, which will benefit his successor. Some of his major achievements include overseeing significant infrastructural projects that have improved learning environments, such as the renovation, painting, and beautification of primary schools like Bishop Oluwole Primary School and All Saints Primary School. Additionally, he has ensured the provision of security personnel in schools, creating a more conducive atmosphere for learning. Honorable Jongbo has also encouraged and assisted workers with additional qualifications to sit for transfer of service examinations, enabling many to secure placements in key state agencies. Furthermore, Honorable Jongbo has taken a firm stance on the preservation of facilities such as libraries, desks, and chairs, stressing that damages caused by students would no longer be covered solely by government funds. Instead, parents of offending students will be held responsible for repairs or replacements, aiming to instill accountability and respect for public assets among students and their families. Honorable Jongbo's decade-long tenure, spanning from 2015 to 2025, has been marked by challenges and triumphs. Despite facing limited financial support, he has remained committed to his vision for education in Ifako. His legacy is expected to have a lasting impact on the education sector, and his successor will face the challenge of building on this foundation and continuing to drive progress. Honorable Jongbo lauded the support of the Lagos State government, particularly Honorable Usman Hamzat, in making these achievements possible. Sports. South Africa dents Eagles World Cup hopes after stalemate. Nigerians' hope of reaching a 7th FIFA World Cup tournament are in tatters after they played out a 1-1 draw against group leaders South Africa at the Free State Stadium in Bloemfontein on Tuesday. The Super Eagles came into the fixture needing to claim all 3 points in a bid to resurrect their dwindling hopes of reaching next summer's showpiece in North America, while the South Africans were hoping for a positive outcome in a bid to retain their healthy points advantage against the chasing pack in Group C. Head coach Eric Chell reinstated captain William Strauss-Ekong back into the art of defense after the former PAOK central back had sat on the slim 1-0 win over Rwanda in Uyo last weekend. The Eagles suffered an early setback within the opening 8 minutes as full-back Ola Aina had to be subbed off after picking up an injury. The Nottingham Forest man was replaced by Bryce Osayi Samuel. 15 minutes later, disaster struck as Bafana opened the scoring through an unfortunate own goal by skipper Trust Ekong in the 25th minute. The West Africans began to keep possession and sought to find the leveler, which duly arrived in the 44th minute. A hopeful cross from Fisayodele Bashiru was headed home by full-arm defender Calvin Bassey to restore parity. It was a fortuitous effort as the ball came off his arm and into the net. As it stands, South Africa currently has 15 points from 8 games, 6 points clear of Nigeria, who have 11 points from the same number of matches played. Osimhen begins ankle sprain treatment. Galatasaray team doctor Dr. Yene Slim has said Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen suffered an ankle sprain while on international duty for Nigeria on Saturday during the 1-0 win over Rwanda in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Osimhen was substituted midway through the first half of Saturday's encounter in Uyo after a challenge from Claude Niyimugbabo, ruling him out of the second crucial game against South Africa in Bloemfontein on Tuesday. Initial examination by the Super Eagles doctor said the striker suffered a bruise on his chin. Team doctor confirmed Victor Osimhen's injury is a bruise on his skin. He woke up this morning, which was Sunday, with discomfort and will not be travelling with the squad to South Africa for Tuesday's game, Super Eagles media officer Promise Ifako wrote. The player has since returned to Turkey, and Galatasaray have also conducted further tests on their record signing. Recap of the major headlines. Doctors to decide on nationwide strike today. DSS broker truce ends Nupeng's strike threat. PDP SANS protest as Senate blocks Natasha's return. Keep Ifako flood-free, praise Amzat urges residents. Ifako Education Secretary leaves legacy of excellence. Sports. South Africa dents Eagles World Cup hopes after stalemate. Osimhen begin ankle sprain treatment. Follow us on all our social media handles. Facebook at Ifako Radio, X at Ifako Radio, YouTube at Ifako Radio, WhatsApp at Ifako Radio, Instagram at Ifako_radio. For news reporting, contact us at ifako@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp 091 22 22 7433. Special thanks to the news producer Olanireti. Thanks for watching. I'm Olanireti Ololade. Have a wonderful Wednesday. God bless Ifako.
Looking for reliable brand for import and export, logistics and cargo services, ticket booking, or general merchandising? At Divine and Grace Enterprises, they specialize in seamless global trade, efficient cargo handling, top-notch travel support, and trusted merchant services. Whether it's getting your goods across borders, booking a flight, or managing cargo with precision, they deliver with speed, reliability, and care. You can visit them at Nako Export Warehouse, International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos State. You can contact them on 0803-406-1483, 0817-287-4375, or email it divineandgraceenterprises@gmail.com. Divine and Grace Enterprise, your reliable brand for logistics and merchandise.